Let's talk to former England captain Mark Butcher. Hey, Butch.
Hello, gents. You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Quick question, because we talked a lot during the Ashes, Butch, and it wasn't great, was it? But recently, we have short memories.
I'd wiped that from my No, actually, I haven't.
Yeah.
But you're right. It wasn't great.
It wasn't great. So my question is, if England win this, which they could, because, they're improving and T20s, there's a bit of randomness, do we forget about everything that happened in the winter?
No. Well, two incredibly different formats of the game, aren't they? England have a pretty good record going back to having been double world champions, 50 over and 20 over world champions, both at the same time, within the last decade, within the last 3 or 4 years. So in the white ball game, things have kind of gone along reasonably well for them of late. The test match thing is a different thing altogether. But I suppose the one thing that links them together is the fact that Brendan McCullum, Rob Key, and all of those guys are in charge of it all. McCullum is now dual coach as well as doing the white ball. He's also doing the test matches as well, and so he's under a lot of pressure in this series anyway. You would imagine that anything less than a semi-final appearance, or perhaps even an appearance in the final, for McCullum's chances of keeping his job beyond this summer, that those chances become much diminished, don't they, if things don't go well here. So the good thing is that England are getting better through this tournament at the moment. And look, if we go on and win it, I don't think anybody will be calling for his head.
It looks like spin's going to play a part in this game, as has a lot in Sri Lanka. What do you make of this new Pakistani spinner, Tariq? Usman Tariq, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think the action is a bit odd? It's a bit like a penalty taker. They outlawed, when you stop, and it throws the batsman off, I think.
It does, yeah. I mean, it's unusual, but it's not illegal. Many bowlers, Robert Croft, our very own Robert Croft, used to do something similar. It was a trick he stole off Saqlain Mushtaq back in the 90s. Bowlers kind of halting their run up and their delivery stride before letting go of the ball. I don't think there's anything illegal in it. I mean, Christ, batsmen can bat left-handed when they're right-handed, so the bowlers need a little bit of something to be able to put the batters off. And as long as they don't chuck it, I don't see there's any problem.
Yeah, you just took me back to a real 90s nostalgia of Alex Stewart just going, bowling Crofty, bowling Crofty.
That's true.
There you go. So, I mean, it's unusual, and not unusually, the Australians have decided that it's illegal. But it's not. It's absolutely fine. It's just a bit odd. People swore blind up until Lasith Malinga had finished playing that there was something illegal about his action. It's not illegal, it's just different.
Well, he's got the same arm condition as Murali. I was reading this morning that he's unable from a birth defect to straighten his arm. And we used to have this imaginary scenario that say Murali would go into hospital and he had his tonsils out, and they said, "Well, Mr. Murali, while you were under, we were able to straighten your arm." No! I'm ruined! It's definitely an advantage, I think. But
there is a question, Butch, about Jos Buttler. We were talking about it the other day, and his form. But do you have faith that he will come good eventually in this tournament?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the good thing is England have there's the 4 Bs in it, from number 2 down to number 5, and Buttler, Bethel, Banton and Brooke. None of them have particularly had any decent form whatsoever, and yet England seem to be getting stronger as the tournament goes along. And if Jos runs into a bit of form as we get to the real nitty gritty of the tournament, knockout cricket, then more's the better. I think T20 cricket is so, particularly for the openers, that their scoring rates have to be so high. The amount of risk they take is extreme. And so, therefore, every once in a while, even a player as good as him will go through periods where you don't score very many. But the law of averages with somebody like him who has scored so many runs in white ball cricket and opening the batting in T20s means that at some point he's going to get you. And hopefully it'll be in these parts of the tournament where things get to be really critical. So I wouldn't think that England. Put it this way: would you leave him out? The answer to that question, I think, would be no.
No, absolutely. It's good news for you, Butch. You've just taken the first wicket of the day.
Ah, superb.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's go to John Norman and get confirmation.
For one, Jofra Archer has struck, not for the first time. A batter has perished trying to take Archer on towards mid-wicket. This is Bethel coming in at deep square leg with the catch. and essentially it's about it being undone by the additional pace and possibly just a bit more bounce as well from Archer. So Pakistan lose at 1 early. It's Ayub who's gone for 7, and at the start of the third over, 14 for 1.
Yes, John. And actually, Butch, watching Jofra Archer, and it's just one of the great sights, isn't it? Watching him bowl well.
Yeah, it is. I sort of made a comment during my weekly podcast with Wisdom last week that Jofra has kind of had stopped moving the new ball. There hadn't been a great deal in the way of either wing or seam. And then, of course, he then bowls magnificently. I don't know whether he listens. Probably does.
We all do.
But he then bowled.
And he buys your albums. He does.
Yeah, of course he does. Of course he does. By the truckload. And then he sort of nipped it all over the place and bowled, really spitefully with movement with the new ball in the game against in Sri Lanka when they defended 145. And it's a huge part for England is that they have lots and lots of options in the spin department. Obviously, Adil Rashid and Dawson. But if Jofra can sort of nip a couple out in the power play every time, it puts teams on the back foot. And when he's got that ball moving either through the air or off the pitch, then he's an absolute nightmare. So sometimes the faster you bowl it, if it's gun barrel straight, the further it disappears. But you start getting it to move a little bit, and it only has to be a tiny bit. He's a very different proposition indeed.
Andy mentioned your albums there. Obviously, Jofra knows, and we do, but perhaps not every listener knows about your music career. How's it going?
Well, it's reasonably quiet at the moment. I'm not the last album, my third, was out September of 2024. And I've been a bit busy doing stuff that earns me money, really, working.
You've got to stop doing that.
I've got to stop doing that. I'll have to get back into the studio and start writing again.
But which do you prefer?
Listen, one is a lot of fun, and the other one takes me all around the world and earns me a living. So I'll let you decide.
Okay, well, it's good to have a balance, isn't it? Thanks, Butch. Have a good day.
Cheers.